Since my appointment in September of last year, I've made renewing our fostering system my #1 priority as the Children and Families Minister. Through extensive engagement and discussion, we have pulled together a bold plan recognising the urgency of the problem that faces us. We have published our action plan, a 6-week consultation and a call for evidence earlier this month to renew fostering and create 10,000 additional foster care places by the end of this Parliament. We have done this now, 100 years on from the 1926 Children and Young People's Act, the centenary of adoption and fostering as we know it, creating much of the framework that we now work within. Now is the time to renew our fostering system. Foster care numbers are in decline. The total number has dropped by 12% since 2019 alone. We face a major demographic challenge. Around 1/3 of carers are currently over 60, which will compound this problem in the years ahead. There are currently appalling conversion rates and unacceptable delays to approve carers. 150,000 inquiries last year only saw 7,300 newly approved foster carers. 59% of fostering assessments in local authorities take more than 6 months. All of this is driving pressure on residential care, resulting in children living in residential care settings when they could and should be living in family-based homes. There has been a 24% increase in children living in residential care between 2020 and 2025, now over 18,000 children. Yet research looking at children's needs shows that 45% of children in residential care have the same level of need as those in foster care. The result on many foster carers of this pressure is poor matches, a lack of support and an outdated rule book that signals a lack of trust and a lack of respect. The total impact of all of this on our children is that too many of them are forced to live away from their school, their friends and their family. Too many matches that mean they don't get the connections they need, and too many in residential care when it's not the right fit for them. This status quo, this fostering decline, runs at complete odds with our wider reforms to children's social care. It means we're breaking rather than making lifelong loving relationships. We're driving the cost escalator towards ever-expanding residential care that is evidence of profiteering. Between 2020 and 2025, spending on residential care doubled to £3.7 billion. Our wider reforms will keep more families safely together and mean greater support for kinship options, backed by major reform and £2.4 billion of additional spending. But even with all of this, renewing our fostering system demands real focus, national leadership and ambition, specifically on fostering. So let me set out what we are doing, the actions that we are taking to give thousands more children in care the choice they need to have the enduring relationships that must become the obsession of the care system. First, to make sure the whole of the English system is galvanised by the 10,000 target that we have set, we are renewing local authority fostering teams, expanding fostering hubs that have made meaningful progress will take on the full end-to-end process. So we are pushing fostering hubs to take on the whole process rather than just the initial inquiry stage. Further to this, we will create the second wave of regional care cooperatives with greater clarity that these will not simply be commissioning bodies, they will directly create the provision and be tied to fostering hubs. For all other local authorities that are not in an RCC or a fostering hub, those local authorities will be set stretching targets to approve, and we will set new standards on the process overall, and Ofsted will update their inspection framework to hold those local authorities to account. And we're going to launch a digital platform to speed up the process. So all of this should speed up the conversion rates and make sure we get more approved carers as soon as possible. Secondly, we will scale and support innovation to get new carers and look after the ones that are already caring, because retention is as important as recruitment. We will double down on Mockingbird, the programme of support for existing foster carers, funding another 100 constellations. Building on this, we will also set new standards of support for all carers so that they can benefit from the features that make Mockingbird such a success. We will take room makers, first started in Greater Manchester, and a programme that sounds very similar to the one my honourable friend mentioned from Plymouth, to national rollout. At least £25 million will fund extensions or renovations so that children can stay connected for longer or grow up with their brothers and sisters in the same house. We will launch a fostering innovation programme to bring forward even more new thinking, with a focus on new and flexible models of care, like weekenders, step-down and specialist care and support for attention. And specifically, I've been delighted to work with my colleague in the Ministry of Justice to ensure that we can set up a new programme to scale up remand fostering so that children don't need to unnecessarily enter young offenders institutes. Thirdly, we will rewrite the rule book around fostering so that we prioritise making foster care feel human and loving and normal for children, that it feels respected and supported for carers themselves as well. We have launched a rapid consultation on changes to the allegations process, a process which has been a source of complaint for many years. We're doing that so that it's fairer for carers and doesn't unduly rock existing strong relationships. We have launched a call for evidence on a range of issues, including a foster care national register, consistency of allowances, and we will be setting out a process of doing some analysis to look at the variation in allowances across the country in order to highlight the very point that members have raised. We'll make some changes on the distinctive role of kinship and connected carers in fostering, and for the training and support that they need as well. This will lead to a rewriting of national minimum standards and other statutory guidance for fostering at the earliest opportunity. We will take immediate steps to clarify that foster carers must be respected in conversations amongst professionals about their child. And we are also immediately taking action to clarify that the day-to-day decisions that foster carers should have for children should be with them by default, not exception, such as permissions to get haircuts and overnight stays. We're rewriting the rulebook to put long-lasting relationships first, and this will be part of wider action to take on myths about who can and who cannot care. Our vision is a fostering system built on relationships that last, by recruiting and retaining more carers, acting regionally, innovating, supporting families, simplifying the rules. By doing all of this, we will create thousands of more foster families across England, closer to children's communities and schools. We know we can do this because the appetite is there within the country. We're just failing to convert it. And we've done it in recent history with the Homes for Ukraine scheme. We've shown what we can do when a problem is confronting us and when we can mobilise society, civic society and government in harmony towards a shared goal. This is a decisive moment for fostering in England. Together, we will ensure that every child who could thrive in foster care has the option of a home to grow up in, the love, the stability and the opportunity that they deserve.